And Power Pivot is you can be able to use DAX formula in Power Pivot also, be able to analyze your data. So I will be introducing us to all those things. Power Pivot is very fundamental. It's cut across, so it helps us to reduce the number of formulas we write in our big analysis in Excel. And so it's very important for us to be able to look into that Power Pivot. And also, of course, Power Query. So we're going to also look at Power Query, basic transformation, important data. So Power Query is important. It's so fundamental. It's one of the, it's one of the two that is underrated with or analysts. You hardly see people taking course on Power Query, but you see, with Power Query can reduce your work and time so fast. If you can't be able to transform your data, that is what we call data normalization. The ability to be able to, understand your data, clean it. Data is always dirty, like I always say. The ability to transform it in Power Query is as fast as possible. What we'll be doing today is that we're going to be using functions to clean data. But when we introduce it to Power Query, you begin to see the importance of Power Query. So it's a process. That's why I want to take you so that when we go from this advanced to this advanced, you appreciate it. So Power BI itself is a combination of Power Pivot and Power Query. Yes, if you have used Power BI before, when you want to, of course, load data, they will tell you should either to load or transform. Transformation takes you to Power Query. You can Power Query in Excel. And also Power Pivot is where you can be able to build relationship, where you can be able to write that formula. It's also in Power Pivot in Excel. So these two things are what give birth to Power BI. So the ability to be able to get understanding of them before you launch into Power BI. What makes Power BI better than Excel is just because of the visualization, the ability to visualize data very well, and also big data, of course. So I think that's the edge. So that's what we'll be looking. So today we'll be looking at what we started before. So we want to finish it. Is a whole lot of things here. So we're going to look into it. So I believe you all have the data of the last class. Please, if you don't have the data, let me know. It's very important. If you don't have the data, you can unmute yourself. Maybe that you can be able to know, or you can go to the group data and go and check it out. Download it so that you can be able to follow around. We have looked into this, analyze. We have looked into conditional logic. We have looked into product. So please, it's important to look some product and this. The reason why I don't want to go into this let and lambda function is because it's basically on 365, like I said in the last class. I used 365, but recently I think I had some issues, so I'm using system to do this. So you can, of course, you can go online, explore it. What does let and lambda function help you to do? Those lambda function is only on in 365, and then so that's very important. So we're going to go to what we have today. We are looking at functions. We are looking at functions. So it's very important. Now, functions, we have a lot of functions. We have a lot of formulas. But the ability to know what to use and what to use at what time. Excel is a whole lot of things. You understand? I want to be getting this concept. A data analysis is not just navigating towards a tool. It is the ability to get the concept of what to use. Of course, if maybe somebody is a mechanic, the ability to understand the problem of a car is what makes him a mechanic, not because the person hold a hammer or a spanner on his head. So just because you can do some things in Excel does not make you a data analyst. Can you be able to look into a data and know what is the problem of this data? How can I be able to transform it? How can I be able to get insight from the data? So that's what actually makes you a data analyst. So we're going to start. You can see from our first, you see transform, you can see text, we can see date value, VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, index match, and also how to deal with errors. So we start with transform. So when you look at this data, there are some things that are not really right. Okay, maybe you want to do some things. For instance, we are going to look at this reference. Let's look at this reference column. Let's look at this reference column. So we have this reference column, and you can highlight it. this preference column. That is what we call text to column. Text to column. Text to column. So you can go to your data on your ribbon, click there. So you can, if you go here, you can see text to column. Now, what do you want to do? Now, you see, I want to take you through this process, but if you understand this process, when we go to Power Query, you see how easy and fast this is going to be. So when we look at this data now, when you look at this, you see that is what we call delimiters, things that separate 1 and a x, what separate j, f, y. So there are some things that separate it. And maybe this thing is a column of itself. You want to separate it. You want to shift it. You want to make sure it's not together. So you want to look into it and say, no, this one or this one is supposed to be on its own. This x, this ax is supposed to be on its own. This jfy is supposed to be on its own. So this is basic transformation. So when you come here, we call text to column. Now it will bring out something to you. Now we can see if you are following along, you can see we have delimiter, we have fixed rate. So what do you want to do? Actually, I say, do you want to separate it by delimiter? You say yes. So what is the delimiter? You can see from this, you can see how it has begin to it has choosing. We have one, we have this, we have this. So we go next. So now, if we go next, you begin to ask you, what kind of delimiter do we have? What is the delimiter that you want to use to separate it? Or the delimiter here is, of course, is a dash here. So you can see from here, you can see tab. You remove the tab. It's not tab. It's not semicolon. It's not comma. It's not space. It's others. So when you press others, so you can see here your from this place your mass. You can see you can be able to do. So what we want to remove, what we want to use to separate this is a dash. So you just put dash. So you can see as immediately you put the dash from this place, you can begin to see how it has separated all these things. Right? If you're there, you can see it. So you can be able to put next. You don't put finish. You still want to do something there. Don't put finish. Next. Now, next. What is this? What is this telling you here? You can see from this place, it has put the one, that's the numbers here. You can see the general. So we want to change this data type. We want to change this data type. We want to change this data type. It's put general. We want to tell Excel that no, this is not general. This is a text. This is a text. So when you put text, you change this as text. It's very important. You come to this general, you put it as text. So now, next we want to say, okay, I don't want to remove this cell. I don't want to remove this cell. I want to take it to a new column. But before then, we can come here and say, I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't really need this. Why? Because it's already here. It's the product in this A column. So I don't need this. I don't need this. So what you're going to do is do not import column. So you come here, you say, do not import this particular column. Don't import this particular column. So you can be able to keep the other reference, or you can choose to let me just separate them. So you can choose to click anywhere, say, okay, this place, come back, and let's finish. So you can see that you are able to separate this data. I'm able to separate them. I'm able to separate them into different columns. Now, these things, we call it a split column in Power Query. It's easy in Power Query, but I want to take you through this process so that you understand this and be able to appreciate it very well. So we can see we are able to keep this and just separate these two. I hope we are together. So this is
Yes,
a
sir.
basic. So this is the basic transformation. It's just a basic transformation. You can be able to split this. There are different. It may be a different thing altogether. It may be a pipe. It may be a quotation mark. It may be whatever it is. Whatever you want to use to separate the data, you can be able to use that. So it's basic transformation. And so let's go to the next one. Text value. Text value. So we can see from here is let's say our same data is the same data. So we want to use text, text values. So we want to use text functions here. We want to use text functions here. It's important for you to know if you're using numbers, which functions are you going to use number for? You understand? If you want to use text, which functions are you going to use text for? So we are going to text function. Now, from my, you can be able to predict from this place. First of all, we want to use concatenate. We want to use concatenate. Now, concatenate, what does it do? Concatenate help us to be able to, a kind of also separates text. So here, then we use basis and condition. Now we want to use a kind of function to separate this. So that's what concatenate does. So let's look at let's say uh, this this F2. So what we want to do is that we want to bring two things together here. We want to see how we can be able to bring these two columns together, this one and this one. So that's what concatenate does. It helps you solve it to match this data together. Maybe first name, second name. You want to have your full name, and you have the data, and the first name is different, the second name is different, but you want to see it in one place. So what you want to do is just to concatenate it. So let's come to concatenate. Let's say equal to concatenate. So when you put equal to concatenate, now we go to F2. F2. So what we're going to do now, of course, comma, then a quotation mark, a quotation mark. Then you want to a kind of, okay, let's do this first. Let's do this first. Okay. So we have this, and what you want, the next one is G. So you want to use this column to this. Okay. So we can see here that we are able to join these two, this one and this one. We're able to join them. Of course, if you double click, so we can see here we are able to join this store ref and ref code together. So that's what actually concatenate does. That's what concatenate does. So it's a basic, also a kind of, it's a text function, it's a text formula, the text formula. Also, we can be able to, okay, let me add something here. Let's put dash here, put dash here on our formula. Let's put dash here. Yes. Okay. So what is the difference here? You can see from this place, we're able to add something to it. We're able to add to separate it. So we just put something here to separate it. This place. So we just put a dash to separate it. So it's different from this one that is below. So you can put whatever, maybe you want to put a star, whatever you want to put, to be able to separate it. I'm able to show them that, okay, this and this actually are different. I just joined them. So that's basically what how you can be able to do it. So these things, this concatenate is very important. It saves you a lot of time to be able to. So this is one of the text function. Another text function is still the concatenate, but we want to use this product. We want to use this product. What we want to do here is also basically almost the same thing with what we did in this concatenate. So, but we want to have a kind of addition. We want to have kind of addition. Okay, let's use the concatenate again. Equal to concatenate. Okay, so we want to use A1, A1, okay, comma, 6, So let's use let me see. Let's use okay. I'm trying to get it. Sorry, sorry, I hope they are all hearing me. I just had the instruction call, so I needed to please set that up. So we can see do the same thing, this one, and also be able to separate it. So whatever you want to use to separate your this what we call a delimiter. So we just use our column. So whatever you want to use to separate it, you are free to do that. So that's basically for concatenate. Maybe you want to use a pipe, you want to use approximately dollar, whatever it is you want to use to separate it. So let's use B2. Yeah, let's use B2. Let's use B2. So we can see here that we have joined product and product name. So one hammer. So let's so we have one hammer, two nail, three screwdriver, three screwdriver. So maybe these are the product word and these are the product name. You want to show your say this thing is together. Understand? So that's basically what concatenate does. It's for text function. It helps us to bring data together using a delimiter. Well, with that delimiter or delimiter. So whatever you want to do, that's how to make use of it. So I hope we are together. I hope we understand that we are going to the next function.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So next we are looking at uh, trim. So basically, what trim function help us to do is to be able to help us to just a kind of reform a data. Maybe it's scattered. So now we want to use reference. We want to use reference. If you look at this reference column, you can see that the one is here, and this data is not properly arranged. It's not properly arranged. So you want to use if you see a data like this, what you don't need to come here and uh, and start doing shift it one side. No, if you have hundred or thousand of data, you can't be able to do that. So you have a function to do that. So in those equals to trim. Yep, equals to trim. Then we come to our reference column. Just close brackets, enter. So we can see here. Let me. So you can see from this place, this data that is looking like this. This one is not arranged. This is not arranged like this. It has come to order. So anytime you see a text function, anytime you see a formula that's something that is not looking well arranged, data can always come like that. Data, like I said, they are not properly arranged. So as a data analyst, before you start any analysis, you must make sure that is my data properly arranged? Is it in a standard form? Is it going according to standard, and also how I can be able to no bias, no error, because as good as your data is, as good as your analysis is. So that's it basically. So next we want to look at another function, substitute. We want to look at another function. Substitute. What substitute does is that it helps you to, you want to add something to a particular data, and it's not there before. So you kind of substitute, you want to substitute it, you either substitute or you add it with. So for instance, now let's look at um let's look at let's see here. Okay, let's use this. Let's use this that is close to us. So we want to put because substitute. So what you want to do here is you want to uh, use this. So you want to substitute instead instead of the what we use as our delimiter, we want to substitute it. We want to change it. We don't want it to be the words that is what is there. Like in this place now, our delimiter is dash. So we want to remove the dash and substitute it with something else. We want to remove the dash. I want you to understand the substitute. You want to remove, of course, now substitute. This means uh, removing one and put one. So what do we want to substitute our dash? That's our delimiter from this scale. We want to move it, comma, come here, and okay, our delimiter is dash, another quotation mark. We put a comma, and we said in the new text. So what do you want to add? Let's say we want to substitute it with let's say with a question mark. Yes, you can use question mark. What you want to use? Free. So what you need to do is to get the concept. Enter. So we can see here instead of using instead of the dash, you have substituted it. No, now you can see question mark here. We can be able to done that. So we can see here. So we can see from this place that we are able to substitute our delimiters. What separated one and a x, what separated j e y. So we are able to substitute it with a comma, a question mark, and a question mark. So that's basically what substitute does. So please, like I said, I would always like to bring back your attention that this is text what text function. We are dealing with text function here. It's very important that you understand that we are dealing with text function. Next, also we can be able to use substitute to also kind of add something, add something to it. So let me show you. Let's stop. So let's look at B2. Yeah, let's look at this B2. You can see this hammer. So we want to add something into it. So we want to substitute something. We want to say this nail should be box of nails, not just nail. Box of nail, not just nail. So how are we going to do it? Let's put a comma here. Let's put a comma here. So let's open bracket. Let's say nail. Please, Excel is very case sensitive. So make sure that the nail that is in product name, that's column B, is exactly what you are putting there. So let's say we want to substitute nail, comma, we want to substitute nail with box of nail, with box of nail, with box of nail. So let's present close bracket. So you can see here, it doesn't concern this hammer. It does not concern the hammer. So, but so we can see, sorry, let me check. Let me check it very well. Okay, substitutes, yeah, B2, you have name, okay, you have name, comma, box of name, box of name, mhm. Name, box of name. So what I'm trying to do is that you can be able to change this name. from this place, this nail in particular, to box of nail. I tend to get my functions very well. See where I'm missing it. Okay, nail, the same thing, box of nails, place of it. Okay, but that's fine. I think I'm missing something here. I don't really know why. But what substitute does from this first one, can be able to substitute something, and it's just as simple as substitute this with this and substitute this with this. So that's basically what it does. So you can be able to remove, substitute this nail to change it to box of nails. So maybe at your own time you can be able to try it because of our time that I'm able to work with them. So, but that's, I think that's how it's not supposed to look. So, yeah, yeah. So that's basically for supplement. So next function text is length. What length does simply is nail help us to know the kind of numbers of what we have, and the letters. You can be able to count them. How many letters do we have? So that's what length is. Like length. They just make it length. So we want to check how many letters we have in products. How many letters we have in product? Sorry, I'm not doing it. So you want to see how many close bracket. So we can see here, hammer is 6 letters. Hammer is 6 letters. So that's basically what it does. That's length. If you want to check how many of these letters do we have on this, I'm able to show. And this is exactly what we have. So another one is left. Another one is left. So what left does is that left make us to count from the left, of course. Help us to count letters from the left. Help us to count letters from the left. So let's go to left. Left. So when we are looking at left, let's use this. Let's use this. So when we say the left, how many? Look at the form. I said left text. Then next it was actually number character. Like how many of the numbers in that character do you want to? You can see from this uh product. That's product. We have one, then hammer, one, then hammer again, two, then nil. So we want to see how many of it. And from the left, okay, let's say we just want to receive only two, only two characters. So let's say one, only one character from the left, only one character from the left. So it's just it was the so let's so we can see it just bring out this one, two, three, this numeric values. So that's what left does. That's what left does. So actually, this formula can be combined to do a lot of things. You can combine length, ensure the length of the left. So the reason why we are doing it so that you can be able to know when you want to combine them, when you are looking for something in Excel. Okay, I think I can combine this function to be with this function. All these functions you can combine them to achieve something, to achieve a particular purpose. So next is right. It's the same thing as right, but let's do something more. Let me say something more interesting. Sorry. Okay, right. So we want to get the from here, from the right, and let's put comma. But at the same time, we want to do something. We want to take the length. We want to use the length function too. Length function. So length function. We also want it to count the length function here. Let's this it. We want it to count how many characters we have here. So when it counts the number of characters, let's close this. We want it to count a kind of like -2. Let's close. So what it does now, instead of just let and bring out, let's say we just want to get two numbers like from the right, that's going to be right? Are we together? Hello, are we together?
Yes, we are.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure that we're together. So instead of maybe I just want to uh, bring out just maybe or and so we can be able to say, okay, what I just did here is that, okay, right from this function j2, but I now count it len. Now count len, count all the numbers, remove -2, not 2, remove -2. It remove this 1 and this. This is also counted. When we count this, this also was counted. So what we did is that it's removed from this space. It's okay, remove this space and -2. So that's what it does here. So it does give us this. So it just gave us the exact this, because we don't want to conclude with this. So this is how you can be able to combine these two functions. I'm able to, go through them, manipulate them, and do something with them. So that's basically for right. So these are text functions. Observe them. You can't memorize except function. They are just a lot. But the more you use them, the more you combine them, the more you get used to them. And that's just basically the last one is the mean function. Because the mean function helps us to retrieve data from the middle. We have left, right, then the middle. We want to retrieve function from the middle. Let's use mean. So we want to remove from let's say the middle one. Okay, right, that's correct. From these three now, we want to remove the x. Let's say we want to remove the ax. We want to remove the ax. So let's use this. Want to remove the x from this, Excel, you can't, it's good to not to cram. It's good to observe what Excel even is telling you. Send me, and it said text. I now ask you start number. From which number do you want to start removing? From which number do you want to start removing? And how many of them? So we want to start removing from let's say 1, 2, or let's say, yeah, okay, let's say 3. The 3. Then how many of character do you want to return? That's the start number. Then the number of the character you just want to return 2. Just want to return 2. 2. Okay. Then close the bracket. Enter. So we are able to remove this AX. So this is basically what what mean does. So it came here and it said, okay, we want to remove this. We want to just annex this from this column. So we now look at and say from the right, 1, 2, 3. Say, okay, fine. So after that, how many characters do you want? I just need this 2. 1, 2. that's basically what it does. That's me. So and let's so you just it remove this. Remove it. So that's basically for text values in text function. So before we go to dates, I don't know if anyone have anything to any question. That we're going to work with that. Thank you. So I think there is no question. I'm going to move to the text function. So this text, we are going to date. So we are going to date now. Date is very complex, I must tell you. Date is complex, but the data is as good as time intelligence. You must know time. You must know how to use time to analyze your data. There was no, in short, a data without time is not life. So the ability to understand dates functions is very, very important. So we can see from here, we can be able to subtract date actually. Let's say 20, you want to subtract 2014 to 20. So you can be able to do that. Let's say, for instance, you want to subtract, you can see these are dates column. You want to subtract 20, first 11, 2021 to this. So what simply maybe going to do is that we put, let's just say, equal to this, this subtract this, enter. What is telling us is 60. Is 60. If you observe, uh, 1st November 2021, the third as December 2021. So what it does here is just to subtract date. Just to subtract date. So except I'm putting the number column in a number. So uh is 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 a kind of just basic something somebody want to just check and do. So that's what it does. It can be able to, but there are functions that are built on Excel for date, and the ability to use them seriously distinguish you. Ability to use them seriously distinguish you. Now we want to start with dated if. Dated if. Dated if. Let's cross this dated. Hmm? Okay. Yeah, I think I can remember this function is basically on 365. Okay. When I was preparing this course, I think sorry, does anyone have 365 there? Maybe you can try to check this function. I think that's what this function is built basically on 365. I can remember. If you have 365 Excel function, can you be able to try dated it? Okay. No, okay, no one has that. So, but what actually dated it does is when what we just did to subtract this, what it did is that you just add a month, you add M to show you that okay, we have only 1 month from this to this, from December to from November to December is 1 month. But you see, you may not see it as complex. But when you have dates that starting from for 10 years and you want to check like just how many months this data was able to do from then to now. So that's when you begin to appreciate it. From then, maybe from 2015 to that, you can start when they're going to start taking calendar and be calculating. Okay, this month, this month, this month. You can be able to do that as easy as possible. As easy as possible. So we extract. We if you want to extract only a year, want to extract just a year in your data. Let's say I just want to see a year. No, I don't want to see everything here. So you can just put year. year, D2, of course, close your bracket, enter. So we just see, you can see now, we only have the year, that's 2021. Maybe you don't want to work with the, you don't want to work with the month, you don't want to work with, you don't want, you don't want to work with the months and the day. So you just want to see the year. You can see here, it just shows the year. So you can be able to do that with year. You can also be able to just extract only months. Yes, I just want to see the months. So we can make equal to month, equal to month, and wait, wait. So we can see it's showing us here. So 1 month, the third month, the fifth month, the 8th month, the first month also. So that's basically for month. That's basically for month. So I hope we are following concerning this month, this date, because it's actually important. Time intelligence in data analysis is very, very important. Time intelligence in data analysis is very, very important. Many of, I would say, us data analysts, we struggle with date. And if you want to make your data more valuable, and you want to make it more real, you can be able to slice and dice and say, okay, you can go to this date and be able to say, okay, this date, this date, this date, this date. So somebody will just come to your data and look at it into Excel and say, based on this, I just want to look at this particular. So next is that we want to look at a month. Now, a month is used basically to return a kind of serial number for the last day of the month. That is indicated number of months before or after the specific date. A kind of a serial number, the maybe last day or first day of the month, using a serial number. So let's use let's equal to. So we want to look at let's say uh, this. Okay, let's look at this one. So now, if we carefully look at this, uh, this like the first day, the last day of the month, first 31st, 2021. So 0 means the last day of the month. So we can change it. We can change this 0. Let's use 1. Second. So it's progressive. Is like changing. Yes, and so you want to just retrieve it from this, and maybe you want to check your data. You want to backdate it. You want to backdate your data. So it's very important to be able to use it. I'm able to say, okay, I want to get this particular function. Say the number of months before or after the start date. So you can use a positive number for a kind of future month and a negative number for a past month. You can use a negative number too for a past month. A negative number for a past month. Let's try a negative number. Let's say minus. Let's say -1. So a negative number brings us back to 2020, while a positive number is taking us up. So that's basically what it does. That's basically what it does. So we can also be able to know the weekday. The weekday. When you have a large data set, that's when you know that these things are very important. A large data set that I've been working for 20 years. Like where I'm working, my boss just said okay, we are going to profile you one of our platform. What we want you to do currently is that go back to all when we start this program, download all the data and to date. So the ability to be able to work with time, with the date. You want to see from when they started to now. So you must know how to use your dates, you know how to be able to use your time and be able to do that. So we can able check weekdays. Of course, if you want to analyze and say, okay, we want to know which weekdays do we have the highest saves so that you can be able to be more active and more proactive within those periods. So it's very important to okay. So this the on this base is telling us that weekday is days of work is a competition. So weekday should be that's Saturday, I think sorry, Sunday, Monday. So weekday, yeah. So that's basically the 6 and of course that's what is showing here. So we also have days of the week. Days of the week. You want to check the days of the week. You want to check the days of the week. So I'm able to equal to, you don't just want to see numbers, you want to see the days of the week. So the difference here is that you're going to use what we call a text function. Text, text, text function. You come to your date here, uh, put a comma, you now your quotation mark, let's say this, and let's do it. So we have Monday. Like I said before, we are trying to predict these numbers. First day of the week is Sunday, so 1, 2, right? So now we can be able to see it on our using text function here. Be able to see, okay, this is actually, you can see, you want to see it in the month, in the day. You can see here, of course, Wednesday, 4th, first day is Sunday. So that's it basically. How we can be able to use date function. So date functions are important. I have sent this file. You can be able to go to it, even the one that we're able to go through it, browse about it, and be able to, look into it and be able to do it very well. So we're going to, I think, okay. So, so next we want to look at VLOOKUP. We want to look at VLOOKUP. It's very important. We want to look at VLOOKUP functions. We want to look at VLOOKUP functions. So VLOOKUP functions is important in Excel. That's if you are using Excel very well. But it's good to get the concept here in Excel before you can go to advanced tools like Power Query, like Power BI, rather, like Power BI. So what helps you to understand is that when you go to Power BI, that is what we call fact and dimension table. Maybe some of us will be conversant with foreign key and foreign key and what's the other that I have forgotten. So, but it helps us to look. Maybe you have thousands of data, yeah, but you don't want to really. You want to just look up something. You want to check a particular data. You don't need to go through it. You want to look at the data. So it's important that you know how to use VLOOKUP function. Is this one of the advanced uh, functions in Excel? This one of the advanced functions in Excel. So please, I would love you to pay attention. It can be tricky, but at the same time, just uh, kind of pay have attention. So this is a table. We want to look at this distinct, like I said, this district. Sorry, district rather. We want to look at this district. When is district? And we have our store. This is store. A, B, B. So we want to know when is A, when is B, C is D2, when is D. So just imagine that you have this a lot. You can't be come here and you want to put this trick, you now carry B1 and put here. You want to put this trick, you put okay, this B also. No, if you have a lot of data, you can't even do that. So that's what V lookup function does for you. So it's a function, of course, V lookup. Place your V, go to your V lookup. So now we can see a lot of things here. What do we, first of all, they will, of course, want to ask you, first of all, look up value. We want to look up into our sales, that's C2. We want to look up on our sales close, that's sorry, um, comma. Next is telling you the table array. Which table do you want to get your value from? So basically, where we want to get our value from is from this table. We want to get our value from this table. So what you're going to do is you're going to highlight this table. Please, you don't need to highlight the. You can see that I skip the store. I mean the headings that is store lookup and this thing and region. So I skip it. I just highlight the headings and uh, neglect this 1, 2, 3. We are going to use VLOOKUP to work with that. So neglect that one. So this is the uh, table array that we want to look into. So the comma. Next is actually column index number. Next is actually your column index number. So basically, we want to look at the main this thing we want to look at here is let's say we are looking at let me see let's say region. Okay, let's say let's look at this. Let's look at this. So we have we want to check north or south or west. We can also look if you want to just look at district. Oh, okay, let me just use district first. Okay, let's just leave it that we want to look at the north, whether it's north, whether it's south, whether it's west. So close. So now it's asking us, is it true is approximately match, false is exact match. Now, if you are not sure of it, that's when you are going to put true. But if you are sure of what you want to look up to, you just put false. So this false. So this false. So you close your bracket, you close your bracket, you close your bracket. So now okay, if I put enter, sorry. Okay, really come, so we are looking at okay. Oh, sorry, you made a mistake. Sorry, you made a mistake. So from this place, we are looking at C2, that's the store. That's the store. Next is that we are looking at our table array, which is starting from this. Uh, sorry, our table array, which is starting from this. Uh, okay, then comma, and next we are looking at let's see what exact thing you want to look at. Let's look at district because we are looking at district. So let's look at district. Then we are looking at the first. That's the exact match. Let's close bracket. So I will use for you. Okay, first of all, let's oh sorry. reference. I made a mistake. So we supposed to close ourselves. Supposed to close ourselves. So if you can see my formula clearly, we want to lock up the cells, and also we want to lock up this particular set too. So let's do this. Normally, if you use F4, you can be able to do this easily. But think there is a situation here that I'm trying to battle it. But if you use F4, you're able to close yourself, and that's why it's not working very well. So you should be able to close yourself, be able to close yourself using F4. So be able to close it. So okay. Yes. This, this, okay, so let's uh, see, I'm trying to find out why it's not actually working. Why I'm having a little challenge with it. Okay, I've locked this. So sorry, I'm having a kind of challenge here. But from what we look at on this place, you have the kind of data set. I think I'm having kind of low battery here, and I don't want just my system to open like that. So this VLOOKUP function, I supposed to calm down and look at why my formula is not working, but I believe it will work. So like I said, this is what we want to look at today. So the next class, we're just going to be looking at power pivot and power query, which are very fundamental as a if you want to know how to navigate your Excel very well and be able to bypass some things. Power pivot helps us to go into big data, and also you can be able to write that formula in power pivot and to eliminate a lot of functions. You don't need to write a lot of functions in power pivot. You'll be able to produce a good slicer and timeline in Power Pivot. And also Power Query is fundamental to cleaning data. All these processes we went to clean data in Power Pivot, if you import it in Excel, just go straight, use Power Query, clean it, extract it, normalize your data, or pivot it, and be able to bring it to life and import it back to Excel and analyze your data. It's so quick. So I want to this I don't think we're supposed to finish now, but Uh, we what we have here is what VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP function and index match. So maybe when next class we come, we can be able to just quickly go through them. It's not something so hard. I don't really know why I'm having a little struggling with this, but because my system is not really, these days is having some issues too. Not this actually not my system, someone else also had a little challenge with that. So I try to make also, but I don't know that system does not even last like this. So I'm somewhere where I don't have access to. Right. So please, uh, I think we are going to call it today because so that I don't want the to just keep up like that. So we just look at transform text function date values. We can be able to go back, look into them, and also revise again. Next one, I just say so quickly, we just a one formula we do here. VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, index match. Index match combine both HLOOKUP and HLOOKUP and VLOOKUP. So it's as easy as that.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Kelly, for that presentation. Uh, Please, I want to really apologize that we are sorry that his battery was getting low in order for us not to be cut off along the line. So he's going to make it up from next section. And